You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Project Runway. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Project Runway news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for Project Runway.
Woohoo! I have to say I have a little too much fun with that intro. I like to kind of go along with it when nobody can hear me.
No, I feel like
when the mic is muted.
I found myself singing it for days.
Oh yeah,
last
you
week.
always do. You're like jamming around in here. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Project Runway. We are season 10, episode 6. It's going by really fast.
Yeah, it really has.
Except the episode went by really slow.
Yeah.
I mean, really fast tonight.
Really fast.
It's usually slow.
Yeah, it's because tonight I think it was only an hour, and in the past we've been maybe an hour and a half. I feel like it flew by. Yeah.
Well, I'm Canden Bliss, and I'm here with Miss Stephanie Wenger joining me tonight. Ruba Wilson is out of the studio tonight, so we say hello to him.
Absolutely.
And we'll see him next week. But Miss Stephanie is an entertainment reporter here in LA, and we are glad to have her here tonight.
Glad to be here.
So, tonight was interesting. Fashion face-off.
By the way, real quick, Canden, just want to say this. If we had a special guest last week, Christopher Joseph.
We did.
Today is February 9th. His website was supposed to launch February 9th.
It is definitely live. I've been tweeting about this all day, guys. If you're following me, Christopher Joseph's line Vocari came out online, vocarifashion.com. It is out there for you to love.
Such cute stuff.
Isn't it amazing?
Last week, and it was great.
The website is insane. You guys should definitely check it out, www.vocari, fashion.com. You might see, I don't know, familiar face. Maybe.
Just maybe
just maybe like a rock star or something.
Yeah, you up there for sure.
What is that? And we have kind of a special guest
learning
in the back today, Mr. Ronnie Jr.
I'm super interested in everything you guys have to say about Project Runway because I've never watched, so you guys will
Thank you.
educate me.
We will teach you a little something about some fashion.
There's definitely lots to teach tonight, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about tonight.
Yeah.
So tonight's challenge was a little bit different. It was a little bit more of a challenge, I think. A lot more of a competition.
Yeah, they're definitely putting the contestants head to head changed the dynamic in the room.
I agree. We definitely saw some claws come out tonight, and we knew we were going to start to see them, but I think all of us were a little concerned that with Anthony gone, it wasn't going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I know that we all talked about this maybe off camera last week too, that it was just going to be a boring show without him. And, you know, they came back strong, and it was a fast hour with lots going on.
Lots going on.
Lots of drama to come.
Lots of interesting banter between the contestants. Like we said, a lot more cattiness between the two that were kind of at each other's throats. So what they did this week was they pitted one against another. There were 4 seasons. So they took out the 4 seasons, spring, summer, winter, and fall. I guess they said autumn. Whatever.
Making it fancy.
And they were supposed to make sportswear for a weekend getaway. Okay, so that was kind of interesting. I liked the idea of something, I guess, that you could travel in, but didn't they kind of do that a couple weeks ago?
I felt so.
They did a what you would travel in, or a jet setter, international jet setter.
Jet setter. It was, I think, the week before Miss Piggy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like that was kind of the same challenge, but maybe not. Maybe the weekend thing. You're like in the car and the.
A thing that I didn't understand about it was they started out by handing out, each of them got to choose a bag, a weekend getaway bag. And I'm not sure how why that needed to be. You could have just assigned them.
They didn't even tell them. They were like, she's like, oh, don't worry, you don't have to use the bag.
Yeah, it seemed a little pointless. They could have just given them a season.
A season.
Yeah.
I agree. I was expecting them to have to use the bag, and maybe some of them did. I didn't really remember.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think any of them.
I don't think any of them used them.
Walking
There was
down
only a
the
few
runway.
cute ones, so
Yeah,
I don't
some
blame
of
them at all.
Not so cute at all.
So the two that were representing spring were, and we had a hard time keeping these pairs of who was competing against each other on track.
And we were taking notes.
We're like, wait, which one do you have? So Austin and Cara were spring, and Kenley and Mondo were summer.
And then we had Rami and Mila.
Rami and Mila were autumn.
Yes, and Michael and Janelle for winter.
Yes, and I was kind of interested what these guys would come up with. I wanted everything to be so different. You know, like if you're going to do spring, you need to do very spring. If you're going to do summer, it needs to look like you're going to the beach or something.
Exactly, and I felt like especially with the spring and summer looks, there's so much that girls do at those times where it's different looks and different things. And like I was saying that I love spring dresses and like and none of that. You saw no
We didn't
prints.
see any sundresses, any picnic dresses or anything like that.
Exactly. And I was like, that would be the first thing to go in my bag if I was going on a weekend getaway somewhere.
What do you think in the workroom? What do you think inspired a lot of shorts and pants?
I don't know. I felt like we have a lot of, I guess, a good number of guys left in the workroom, and maybe that was something that was going on.
But the girls did pants too. It was all there. I don't think there was one dress. Not really. I think everybody did a pant or legging or short.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in those winter, or excuse me, in the spring and summer.
Yeah, a lot of shorts.
A lot of shorts.
So there was a lot of more drama in the workroom today. I know there was some weird banter between Michael. Michael was slow. Like he was kind of like, I don't know what to do. When he was at Mood, he seemed confused. And
this is kind of the second week in a row that we've seen Michael be a little confused.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple weeks.
It was interesting to hear the judges when they said, I don't remember which judge it was, but I think it was the Marquesa woman. She said, if Michael were to design a line for Neiman Marcus, I don't know what we would see.
Yeah, he seems like a big question mark.
He's been all over the map.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think he kind of just goes with maybe whatever comes to him at that moment, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, there's no consistency. It's not like Kenley, where Kenley's going to come up with something girly and
she
polka
has that
dots
very
or whatever.
vintage kind of inspired 50s
look,
and it's very much she has a signature and he
doesn't so much.
Doesn't at all.
Mondo was having some trouble with his look as well. And he was a little bit emotional of his mom's 60th birthday or something.
Yeah, and I think he was missing it, and he just wanted to do something that he felt like would represent her and represent his family. And
do you think his look represented him? He said it was supposed to be like if he was wearing something to the party.
Yeah, I heard him say that, and I found that to be a really strange thing to say because I'm not sure how that played into his look exactly.
No.
It seemed kind of...
He's a little more street.
Yeah.
Like tank tops and hat.
Exactly.
I didn't see that whole mod 50s thing at all. We saw Cara and Kenley teaming up again.
Yeah.
This seems to be a trend. They teased it for next week too.
Exactly, yeah, and it's looking like some of the other contestants are getting extremely annoyed with that.
I would think I would be too.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because are they the only girls left?
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, Mila, but
yeah,
she seems kind of on her own.
Yeah, I think she's another one with that like signature, like I'm off in the corner doing my own thing.
She did the mod thing again. She kind of stuck with her style. And let's see who else had some issues.
Issues.
Well,
Michael and
yes, we can get into the big question of the night, as I'm sure everyone watching saw the issue between Michael and Jarrell. Now, I love Michael and Jarrell. I love Michael. We saw a little bit different side to him come out tonight, yeah?
Yeah, I felt like he, for a long time, he seemed like kind of a solid, like, competitor and things like that. And now, tonight, he just kind of didn't seem to have it.
He didn't seem like himself. He was very he was cursing a lot and like very angry. There was a lot of angst tonight, and maybe the stress is getting to him, but not the little Michael that I think I wanted to like hug.
Yeah, exactly. He seemed like a calm, kind of had it together, worked hard kind of guy, and in the you kind of saw it starting last week a little bit with falling apart, and then this week it was kind of the even more so a little bit unraveling for sure.
So he didn't really know what he was doing. Jarrell is making this fabulous coat, which I don't know if I think it's fabulous, but a coat.
a coat.
A coat.
That he had a clear direction. That's
he did.
for sure.
He had a clear look, a clear direction, and Michael didn't. Michael started off with that little bolero thing, but it was a fuzzy. What he said, like Fuzzy Wuzzy had a bear or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where that was going, and then he found inspiration and ended up with a coat that was extremely similar to Jarrell's coat.
I mean, I think the cut was similar in a way. The square, the drapiness of it. I didn't really see as much of a similarity as I think the judges and the other contestants did. They made such a big deal out of it that when I really saw them next to each other,
That's what.
I was like, okay, they're both large wool kind of patterned gray earth tone coats, but they're so different.
Well, in the workroom, I felt like I couldn't tell the difference. I was like, they're very, very similar. And then when they were actually on the runway, the darker gray versus the lighter gray of the two looks kind of played off very differently on the runway.
I totally agree. What do you think when Joanna came in? She always comes in every week to mentor the contestants, and she's the editor of Marie Claire magazine, who will be working with one of these contestants who wins.
Absolutely.
So she usually has a pretty good way of interacting with the ones that she I think likes and then the ones that she dislikes. You can kind of always tell.
Yeah, I mean, she does not have a great poker face. That's for sure. No.
But this week, she kind of played mediator, kind of.
Yeah.
With Mike and Jarrell. I mean, she called like this little meeting.
Yeah, and she was like, let's hammer it all out.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that really was super successful because they still have a lot of angst with each other when they were, I think, eating dinner later on in the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, what did Mondo say? Mondo said, it feels like dinner with my family. And Michael said, oh, spaghetti? And he's like, no, awkwardness. Like, that's great. Yep, it's pretty awkward in there.
Yeah, you could just like feel the awkwardness, and that's hard to do through a television.
You could cut the tension with a knife.
Absolutely.
But so what do you think about Joanna's question that she asked? I was a little surprised by her response, I think.
Yeah.
She basically said it's fine to copy if it's better than your idea, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I guess her big question was, is it wrong to like copy a competitor's idea if your work is not as good? And you know, and she was kind of giving it the okay, like go ahead, do what you need to do.
It's a competition. She was basically saying it's a competition.
Yeah.
If that is better than yours,
go for it.
Game on.
And do you agree? I
don't know. I was a little caught off guard by the fact that she was okay with it. I think when she asked the question and she had those judging eyes, and I was really expecting her to kind of come down on them and say, you guys are designers, you should be innovative and blah, blah, blah. But she didn't. She was just said, that's fine.
That's kind of how I felt that I wanted, especially in this like All-Stars, you know, season of Project Runway, I wanted to see them come out with something big. And across the board, we saw relatively similar looks, but specifically these two guys, like, jump out and show something different for this winter look. There's so many ways. I mean, I lived in Boston for 4 years, and I feel like there's so many ways to do winter, and I saw it all the time on the streets in Boston.
Yeah, I felt like they were very safe with the winter. It was kind of bag lady.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, there wasn't a lot of sleek sophistication to it. I mean, yes, I would probably wear some of the items that they designed, but this is All Stars, and we've been saying this the whole time. I'm kind of concerned because this season has been a little disappointing as far as the designs go.
Yeah.
These are All Stars. We've seen great things from them in the past. But where is the great things now? They're just kind of all safe and just kind of okay, and they're like already out there, and you've seen it before. I'm just not...
I feel like they're kind of walking through the challenges, and also the challenges this year have not been as I don't know, as exciting as you might expect. I remember in the past there's just been things where you're like, how are they possibly going to get that done? And these all seem like safe challenges, and in response to that, they're doing safe designs as well.
I agree, and I think that it's coming out on the runway, and the judges. I mean, what do you think about the judges? Do you think they're excited? I know at the beginning of the season we were like, okay, the host is kind of blah, and you know, I've kind of gotten used to her. I don't think she's the best host ever, but, I've gotten used to her, and she's just kind of there.
I think it's hard, to compare to Heidi Klum. Like, I feel like that's going to be a tough thing for anyone to get up there and be like, oh, she's as amazing because Heidi Klum's the one who started it.
Statement.
Yeah, absolutely.
But do you think like Isaac Mizrahi and the woman from Marchesa, I mean, do you think they're floored? Do you think they are like, I mean, they're designers that, you know, she was the co-founder of Marchesa. Isaac Mizrahi is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Isaac just looks at some of these designs, especially tonight. Some of them he didn't seem like he thought they were very inspired at all. So I think he might be on the same page as us, actually.
The Marchesa woman, she seems to be, and I keep forgetting her name. That's terrible.
I know. I was trying to look back.
She's gorgeous, but she always seems to kind of like somebody's, you know, and I'm just usually don't at all.
Yeah, and then Cynthia Rowley was the guest judge
That's
tonight.
right. Cynthia Rowley was the guest judge tonight, and that was kind of unexpected. I don't quite remember them teasing that last week.
No, I was surprised because I was trying to remember from like last week what it would be, and I was
kind of like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, good to have her there. Yeah,
I liked her opinions. I thought that for the most part, her opinions were right on, maybe except for the Jarrell Michael decision, which we'll get into right now when we get into the runway.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Absolutely.
Who came out first? I know we had to kind of like pause the.
Yeah.
It went by so fast, and the runways usually just they're flying down the runway, and you don't even get to see the outfit. So today we paused it because
I think especially because having two people on the runway at once was a lot, and you're like, wait, who's who? So
who?
It's impressive if you could just watch that without taking notes and actually get it
thank,
all down.
Thank goodness for
DVR exactly.
Why do I want to call it TiVo?
Everyone wants to call it TiVo.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
So okay, once again, Austin, numero uno. Why is he still here?
I think we both wanted him to go tonight, and tonight's look was it just didn't work. I mean, to keep it plain and simple. And I know he got compliments on the way the pants fit, I believe, and maybe if you paired it with something completely different, the pants would be great. But
I didn't mind the pants, like his. If you closed your eyes and you could just like see the silhouette, maybe I get.
Yeah.
But what is that, like, granny floral print with the cardigan, with the floral print on the cardigan?
Yeah, I kind of, when I saw the pants, I wanted to see it with, like, a simple red top or something like that. And because make those pants, I mean, those are so great that you would want to make that to be kind of the statement.
Almost like a chic, like, businesswoman kind of being a little more cash, but very professional. And
exactly.
Something that, a professional woman would wear to her weekend getaway.
Exactly, kind of like a Hamptons look.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Not like granny comes to church kind of deal.
Yeah, and he tried to push it off as like going to the garden, something like that.
Yeah, and what did Isaac Mizrahi said, I would not want to go to lunch with her or to the garden. It's like, I do not either, honey. Thank you.
No, exactly.
And then Cara was, there on the runway juxtaposing the designs. Yeah. I liked Cara's design. I thought it was very safe. Yeah. For the most part. But I thought that the baggy pant thing, the white pants, I thought it was a long skirt.
Yeah.
And I thought that would have been really interesting.
I was actually just about to say the same thing. At first, I thought it was the long skirt, and I loved that look. And I thought it worked, what she did, but not particularly out there or different. No. Didn't show her.
I couldn't see the shoes. There was no pattern, really. I don't even know what the cardigan looked like. It was silver, gray, kind of. And it could have been neat. I just felt like it was a lot of bold colors, which is good, but there was nothing else to kind of catch your eye and make you really look at the design of the clothing.
Also, I felt like maybe putting some accessory with it.
Something.
Yes, like going and using, what is it, the Neiman Marcus like accessory
They have it
wall.
all there.
Yeah, just go and find something
A
that
long
works.
pendant necklace like
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
She
What
should
you're
have worn
wearing.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
And it would have brought it all together.
Yeah,
But I would wear it.
I would too.
I think it's nice.
say.
Then we go to the Battle of the Polka Dots.
Oh yes.
Kenley and Mondo.
Oh, I don't even know what to say about them. I felt like her. She did like a jumpsuit, purple jumpsuit.
The lavender polka dot jumpsuit.
Yeah, exactly.
Very Kenley, as
Yeah.
we've seen. She does the pale pink, the pale blue, the pale lavender, the polka dots, the giraffe print. I mean, it's very like girly and fun, I guess. But I'm starting to think that she should design like a line for that Justice store or something for kids. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to wear most of her stuff on a regular basis. Maybe like once when you want to kind of do
Exactly.
that fun girly thing. But
Maybe this was more. I mean, she didn't in fact even win this challenge, but maybe this is kind of her challenge, like that weekend getaway. Like I would wear this once in a blue moon type
Maybe.
of thing. But
this is the time where I was expecting her to do a fun dress.
yeah,
A Kenley dress.
yeah.
You know, it's what was she? Was she summer? Summer. Hello. Colors and fun yellows and I don't know.
Exactly. You kind of, I mean, when I look at her stuff, I want it to be something that I would wear. I love all that girly summer stuff, and that's what she should be focusing on. I'm trying to think of Rebecca Taylor. I
Yes.
think of as being a great example of someone who's pulling that off really well, and she's just not showing that. And also, on a side note, her outfit was really short, even for a jumpsuit.
I was just about to say that the shorts were like right at the butt line.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, you
at
were
the
like-
curve. I was
Yeah.
like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
You do not want to be traveling in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm like at the airport and that not
Not
cute.
so much.
Not
And
cute
she had
at all.
orange shoes on. I'm sorry. I'm not 100% on board with the whole like mixing the crazy weird colors together and like statement shoes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too classic for that. I don't know.
I agree with you. I think that there's a time and a place for that, and it was not with that outfit.
But they all loved it. So what do we know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Mondo, I feel bad for poor Mondo. I didn't mind his look. I mean, it was not summer
Yeah.
at all, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was very mod. I would wear it. There was a lot of pattern going on.
That was my one concern. I would have liked to see maybe a solid on the bottom with that top.
Right.
I felt like it was a little much, and maybe that's the place for a bright, possibly.
I was going to say the same thing. He had that fluorescent greenish, yellowish belt thing.
Yeah.
If he'd have done a fluorescent short
Yeah.
or a fluorescent skirt with that, black and white polka dotted shirt, it could have been really neat and very summer.
Yeah, and especially right now, it's so on trend. If you're
Yeah.
in any of the stores, that's what they're
That's
showing.
what you see.
Yeah.
And then he had like the bangles, the chunky bangles and the weird bag. He was confused, I think. And maybe because he wears a lot of bright colors and he does wear a lot of like yellows and pinks and oranges and stuff. Maybe that's what he was trying to throw into his look is things that he would wear as far as color goes.
Yeah.
But the whole look, like they said, the hair was 50s, the shirt was some other generation.
Yeah, it seemed like a mishmash of things, like
Yeah.
even his accessories, everything. He didn't have a direction, although I did feel like I would wear it
Me too.
for some
I would wear
reason.
the silhouette, the outfit itself, maybe not so much the accessories, but
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
So I was a little confused at that one.
Yeah.
Then we had that was summer. Then we go to fall.
Yeah,
Yes.
fall was Rami and Mila.
Rami and Mila. I was pretty disappointed with both of these, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Totally not what I would see for fall.
I couldn't even choose. I was marking down in my notes which one I liked better, and I couldn't choose between them. They just didn't work for me. Mila's, I think she did a cape,
Yeah.
orange and cream cape, was it?
It was cream and black with
cream
the
and-
red underneath.
Oh, with the red underneath.
And
okay.
I thought in her sketch, and maybe she did, and I couldn't tell, but I thought her sketch had the cape and then the red and then like a navy blue pant.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
It did not execute well.
No.
She put leather on the cape or something,
Yeah.
and it made it real stiff, and she was like walking like this.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like with a cape, having those details on it are so important, and you couldn't, at least on TV, tell those detailing that
Right.
she had done, and it just didn't. It was not flattering.
No.
The bottom line was it was not flattering.
It looked like a balloon standing up there. I love I love capes, and there's my boyfriend will tell you he hates capes, and he always thinks I look like Zorro or something in a cape. But I love capes.
Yeah.
I think they're so fun. They're so easy, but they're chic. They're not like bulky. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just did not work for me.
Did not work.
It did not work for me. Liked the idea, but it made her look just weird and fat.
Yeah.
And then Rami, I loved his coat, his little jacket thing when it was open. But I don't know what that green thing was underneath there.
No, and the more you saw it, or at least the more I saw it, the less I
you liked
liked it. Yeah, it did not work.
You know what? I think that he was not expecting them to make him open it.
I don't know why then you would spend so much time doing all of that supposed good detailing.
Right.
It was just weirdly like bunched
The
together.
seam came across the side, like
Right.
the middle of her boob,
Yeah.
and then it had this diagonal little seam going back the other way. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And the cowl neck was like 12 cowls
Yeah.
long.
It was also just a lot around her. It kind of looked really thick and uncomfortable to wear. And I think that that's really part of this challenge is if you're going on a weekend getaway, or at least when I go on a weekend getaway, I want to be
You gotta be comfy,
comfortable.
girl.
Yeah, exactly.
In the car, running around, going to the gas station to get gas, and go to the bathroom and get your candy bar and your chips, and
Exactly,
you've got to
yeah.
be comfortable.
And there were
going
only
to
a
sleep in the
few
car.
outfits out of all of these where I thought, oh, well, that is actually something that you could wear.
Right. I think they didn't get the point of the challenge at all.
No.
Was that it? No.
No, I
There's
think
more.
we still have winter to go.
Oh yeah, I didn't write anything about that. I think I must have been sick of them.
Yeah.
Michael and Jarrell, the bag ladies. I don't know. I mean, if I looked at them, I would say, fine. They look like something you see on the street right now in New York City or something. One was a little more hobo. One was a little more chic.
Yeah, they were talking about Jarrell's being, I guess, a little more like anthropology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael, what did Michael say? Michael said that Jarrell's costume looked like Moses would
Yeah.
wear it, and his looked like Jackie Kennedy would wear it. And, I kind of understood that comment.
I do too, actually, because his looked a lot cleaner. Michael's design, even though it's still questionable whether he copied the design, it came out, at least in my opinion, better, but the judges completely disagreed.
This is where we had a little bit of a with the judges.
Yeah.
Stephanie and I both were really on board for Michael.
Yeah.
Because I think I would wear that. I feel like I'm a little more chic, sophisticated, classic cut and style. And every now and then I'm a hobo style,
Yeah.
whatever, but not usually. I don't usually go towards that. And if I was walking down the streets in New York City or going out to wherever I'm going for the weekend, I want to look put together. I don't want to look like a hippie.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But the judges completely disagreed, and I don't really know why.
They didn't really explain it super well, because actually for a minute there I thought they were gonna go with Michael.
Yeah, because they didn't like the buttons on Jarrell's. But
Yeah.
Jarrell had these weird big mother of pearl button things.
Yeah, I mean they had to be a good
Size of an orange. I
yeah,
don't know.
I mean like 2 inches. I don't know, 2 inches around. It was crazy, like
Yeah.
large buttons that seemed really not very functional.
No,
And
and
I
he
think-
did say that you could close the jacket, and he tried to do it, but
Yeah.
they just kind of took away.
Yeah, and I mean Isaac was stuck on that for
He
sure.
was. He hated the buttons.
hated the buttons. He had done it for about, I think he mentioned it 2 or 3 times.
Yes, and the Jarrell's was that light gray kind of color with like the weird like muted pattern, and Michael's was it popped a little more. It had the black in it, and I don't know, it was much more sophisticated. But
Absolutely.
so it got down to where they put, I guess, spring and summer on the runway. And they talked about who was going to get the low and the high score of each season. So one of the two competitors who was pitted against each other was the winner or the higher score, and one was the lower score.
Right, exactly.
It takes a little while to get used to this whole
a
challenge.
lot of explaining. Yeah, absolutely. But as we mentioned, Michael lost out in winter. And then
which kind of scared me because I was thinking maybe he's going home. I don't know. But spring, they started with spring, and I was so happy because Austin was the low score.
I know. We thought he was on his way out the door.
Go. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Cannot wait to,
And I hate that because I really wanted to like Austin, but he's just kind of just not doing it for me.
And I don't understand why, because I remember seeing him the first time around and thinking, like, he had interesting ideas and things like that. And he's just not showing his...
I think he's coasting.
I do too. Yeah.
I think he knows the judges like him, and they may be critical of him, but they're not going to send him home until the very bitter end if they have to.
Yeah.
And if he screws it up at the end, that's his deal. But I think they're going to let him take it all the way.
Mm-hmm. Also, with Anthony eliminated, I feel like he's another character, and you definitely
keep the characters.
Need those characters on the show. Otherwise, it becomes, I guess, just not as interesting.
Not as interesting. Not good TV.
Yeah, exactly.
So Cara had the high score, which I thought was a good decision. Summer, Mondo was the low score. I was sad about that.
Yeah.
I disagreed.
Yeah, I mean, I understand Kenley. She's really showing her personal design, and I think that that's what the judges are responding to, is that she's able to, she has a clear, you know what you're getting in her line. It's 100% clear at this point, where a lot of these other contestants are a little bit all over the place. So maybe the judges are happy to see her
putting her collection
together.
together.
Like finding that brand.
I felt bad for Mondo, though. I thought they were kind of harsh on him.
And he also seemed so upset because it was like honoring his mom. And
he felt like it was a personal attack on his honor or something.
Yeah, and even the other contestants were trying to make him feel better and say, like, look, they told
Austin they wouldn't have lunch with his model.
Exactly. And and he took it so personally. And so I think it was, you do feel bad.
Yeah. And then in fall, Mila had the high score. She had the vision, not necessarily the execution, but I think Rami's just was a huge flop, obviously.
Yeah, it did not work.
And, I'm very sad I'm kind of sad of the outcomes both ways. Jarrell won the entire challenge, which I was like, what? Where did that come from?
So many better
designs than that. I mean, maybe they liked his tribal thing, I guess. I don't know.
I would have chosen Cara.
I would have chosen Cara or Michael.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of did what they were supposed to do. Cara did the comfortable weekend getaway, easy, sophisticated, nice look. And then Michael did the cool, chic winter look. I was confused at the winner. And then sadly, and I think the judges were sad about this too, they sent Rami home. I think she said, unfortunately, we've come to this conclusion.
Yeah, and I think it kind of just goes to show that you're only as good as your last, your
design.
Last exactly.
Which I want Austin. Why don't they just see that in Austin? Austin gets by with so much crap.
I know. It's insane to watch because everybody else is like one mistake and you're out, and then he's made numerous mistakes. And
like I said, he's coasting.
Still sitting there.
So, guys, we are going to go to commercial, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a little special segment, and then we'll let you guys go to bed.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Once again, I am just singing along with the commercial.
I know, you're impressing me tonight
Thank
with
you.
all of that.
It's very fun. I should be the new announcer for AfterBuzz TV.
I think you could audition.
So welcome back, guys.
I love your passion in
Thank you,
fashion
Ronnie.
and the music.
I love your passion in fashion.
And AfterBuzz music. You're like me. We're very cheesy, but
We
on
are.
with Project Runway
Cheese
stuff.
ball. So guys, I just wanted to real quick, I've seen something in the past few weeks on Facebook. So if you guys are Facebook fans, check out the Project Runway Facebook page. They are awesome with keeping you guys up to date on some news and gossip. They have tons of exit interviews of the Project Runway contestants.
Yeah, and I think you can even like pull which designs you like the best and things like that.
You can rate them. You can rate them all the way from the first episode. And I went back and I was like, yes, I can finally like get out my opinions, other than AfterBuzz. Yeah. So it's been really cool to follow them. Just I wanted to let you guys know that. So if you're Facebook fans, check out the Project Runway Facebook page. Tell them to post about AfterBuzz. Tell the other Project Runway fans out there that we do an amazing show. If you think so, of course. What was that?
That was Ronnie messing on ones and twos here. Real quick, Canden, I also, did you get my fan email? There was a nice fan email that I sent over to you guys.
I did.
That you should,
I did.
Yeah, we get tons of them, but this one was a very, very nice
This one was amazing. Let me pull it up for you right now. I was gonna talk to Ruba about that, but he's not here, so I totally forgot. Thanks for reminding me, Phil. Was it from Phil or from AfterBuzz? Project Runway. Here we go. All right, so we had a fan mail from, and I hope I pronounced this right. Excuse me if I don't. Idris Fenn. Maybe she's from Australia. I'm not really sure. But basically, she was talking about Project Runway Australia and that she's had a chance to watch Project Runway Australia and that the designs and the talent was huge.
Oh.
Much more as compared to the U.S.
Oh, okay, so much better.
Have you seen it?
The Australia version? No, I haven't yet. Have you been watching it?
I haven't been watching it. I've seen photos from previous seasons, but I didn't really know that there was an Australia. Is that terrible?
I know. I feel like that's what all these reality shows are doing though.
There's America's Next Top or Australia's Next Top Model and all these types of things. I guess it would only make sense that there's another Project Runway.
Absolutely. So what did she have to say?
She said that there was, I found the talent of the finalists there much higher than the U.S. version. The results from the paper challenge near the end of season 3 was insane. And the same with the car materials episode.
Okay, so I think that they did a paper challenge maybe in the US where they did paper products and you had to make your design from that, if I'm recalling properly. But I don't know. I think that it would be interesting to see. Maybe that's what you need to do with the All-Stars is have those kinds of interesting challenges where
maybe
they're using
maybe they should bring people from Australia or from other countries and do them like in the U.S.
Yeah.
That would be neat.
That would be really cool.
Kind of out of their comfort zone a little bit. She also said that, I don't know why, but it never occurred to me that in the final collections they could design for men as well as women. So I guess in Australia they design on male models as well, which I think is cool. Why are they only designing for women?
Yeah, it's really true because especially, as I mentioned earlier, we have so many guys left in the competition. It would be interesting to see their take on guys' fashion, for sure.
Fashion does not necessarily mean women.
No.
Maybe because model means women sometimes to people. I don't really know.
Yeah.
So basically she says that if we haven't done so, we should definitely check out the previous 2 seasons of Project Runway Australia. That series focuses more on the talent than on the personalities.
Interesting.
So very good juxtaposition of the...
need to go home and check that out.
I will. So thank you, Idris Finn, for sending us that fan email. You guys can send us emails at... What is it? What's the email?
Info at AfterBuzz TV.
Info at AfterBuzzTV.com.
We always forget all that.
Or you can tweet us at AfterBuzz TV. Tweet me at Canden Bliss.
And at Stephanie Wenger.
All right. Real quick, next week we're going to see Broadway. Big lights in Broadway.
Can't wait. Love it. Cannot wait for this challenge. It's going to be...
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We want to know what you think. Come on, like your predictions mean everything. So
I
get
know,
on
I
with
know.
it.
Sorry, I was waiting for the spookiness to subside, okay? I always get scared. So next week, Big Lights Broadway. I don't know if they're going to New York because I don't know that there's Broadway in LA. Maybe there is.
I think they're probably heading to New York.
Wait, they're in New York. I'm so confused.
No, they are in New York because they did New York street fashion last.
There you go.
Last week.
Last week we were talking about them coming to LA to do Project Runway LA.
So they're staying in New York.
They're staying in New York.
They're gonna hit
on Broadway. I'm excited to see that. I don't know if it's gonna be costume or what.
Yeah, and I feel like we might have some surprising people do well at that challenge. I don't know if that'll...
And probably some surprising people do not so well.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe some front runners show some... Because I feel like people are playing it so safe right now that it will be interesting to see them go big, because Broadway, that's all what Broadway is.
Absolutely.
It's big,
Go
costume.
big or go home.
Yeah, 100%.
So it looks like we also see Cara and Kenley continue their little coupleness, and a lot of very critical critiques. The judges seem really harsh next week, and I'm kind of interested to see what happens.
Yeah, it sounds like they're continuing to bring the drama, so that's
So-
good.
You guys bring your drama next week on Broadway, and we will see you on Thursday night next week.
Can't wait.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.